Everybody, it's the day after I posted the latest podcast, and we've got one of the boys there, Agita there. She'd been sitting on my chair while I was out, and these two were in the living room, probably on their purchase. And look at that, the entire feral family, outside family, very close to the window. So Bcee, Bcee, Peanut, Jill. Now, the news is that there was an option today in town, and I kind of considered it, and I even, tried to set something up, but it didn't work out, which is the best thing for me, that it didn't work, If it worked, I would be out partying, slithering now, so, but I did try. But fortunately, my friend would say, my out-of-province friend would say, the universe was sort of on my side, and on the side of my kids, because I'm sober. I did go to the casino. So some of the money I had put aside for that, because, the slithering didn't work out. I went to the casino. I lost a few hundred, so. But that's okay. I went with that money to lose it. So I lost it and it rechanneled. And then from there, I went to a sushi place, and I don't know if I even taped. I might have taken a couple of pictures, so I'll include them. But I had, not very good. The only sushi place in town, not great. But it was okay. I had quite a bit to eat, and I had a couple of beers. So. And then I came home, and I'm sober. Well, except for 2 beers. Doesn't really count compared to, what I could have been on. So I come back, and I see all the kids, and Agita had been a little, bullying her brothers in the morning, as she tends to do now. She's becoming even more of a bully as she's getting older. But it was nice to see she was settled very comfortably in the living room, and I think that they had also been settled in the living room, but on their purchase. And then I come and I look out there, and just the fact that I'm sober and I'm home and I'm safe, and I'm going to be able to feed them soon. We're not going to be late, it was well worth it, But, I tried. I did try, not quite at the point where I won't try if something seems like it's going to work. And fortunately for me, it didn't, which is very good news. Oh, the life of an addict. Bye for now. I'm here at the casino in St. Thomas, near London, and I'm down quite a bit, and the problem here is just too many traces of machines, and some of them with, there's all kinds of chili pepper machines, and there's respin ones, and there's these ones which are if you don't bet $7, then you don't get the golden spin. So I end up, of course, betting $7 every time on these, and I go up like $50, $100, and then spend it, and then we'll go down, and then go get some more money, and it's not good. Actually, it is frickin' elephants are making noises. Those are new machines. I tried one, I didn't like them. But as my friend says, this is definitely a beast in its own right now. It's less dangerous than the other one. Probably more expensive, but it's not good. What I don't like about it is the compulsiveness. I just cannot count until I access every dollar I can access. I've been there before. I've been here before. This usually happens. When I try to use this out of controlled burn, it usually ends up out of control. Anyway, I'm going to go back and probably get more money from the bag machine until I'm maxed on what I can take out. That's just the way it is these days. And then right back to the kids. Bye for now. Okay, I'm badly caught. I took out more money and I'm losing it. The Griffins, they've been eating my money, but they gave me 111. So I'm just taking this because it's 111. I just need to get out of here. I need to get back to the kids. I'm stuck. Bye for now. Everybody, I don't think I've taped in a while. We've got both the boys sitting there. It seems to be a new spot for them. And Agita used to like that spot, and then she stopped sitting on the bigger thing. So we've got Agita there. I am actually taping now on my brand new phone. Picked it up yesterday. They transferred the data, and today they sent me a box, which I have to send the old phone back, and so I'm going to do that tomorrow. And yesterday was fine. No casino, no slithering. just home with the kids. Got the data shifted on the phone when it arrived, new one. I took it to Rogers, and they did all of that, and then came back and stayed in with the kids. Was watching TV, everything was fine. Worked on journal entries. Today did some journal entries and also some other writing, which usually triggers a bit of polls. So there were some polls. And there have been polls because all the ups and downs in the casino and casino getting to the point that I felt like it was like almost as bad as the other thing, not quite, but and I'm like going, no, I'm not going to go to casino, not going to go to casino today. Guess where I went? Anyway, the way it worked out was I went and got got the screen protector for the phone. And I was home with the kids in the day, everything's fine, did some writing. And then I went to the car show. I had the old Cadillac here, and there's a very informal car show in the parking lot of A&W. So I go there every Thursday. So I go there, and people aren't particularly friendly. I just had a veggie burger at A&W, and I talked to one or two guys briefly about the car, and their cars and stuff like that. There's a very big show coming up near London, on the way to London on Saturday in Bothwell, and I might go there. I don't know, we'll see. So I spent 15, 20 minutes there, and then I'm like, it's very close to the casino, to the one that I gamble at. So I ended up there, and I accessed, and I was going down, and it looked like it was going to be, I was going to access every dollar I could access and feed it into the machines and leave with zero in my pocket. Like what happened the other night, in near London. But I managed somehow. I did access more money, but then in the end, I got like $50 here, $80, and I didn't cash those. I just kept putting them in my pocket. And then I tallied them all at the end, and I'm still down for the day, but not like, a huge amount. A couple hundred down. So for me, at this point in the game of, that whole out of control casino thing, for me being 200 down is actually up. Yes. In the Corvette with the hood down, country drive, going to a car show, stopping at a casino first. But anyway, really enjoying this country drive. I will talk more. This car was made for roads like this. Bye for now. Okay, here in Sarnia, and I just put in like $20 and I get a gold spin. Now, sometimes the gold spins are not much. I got like $60 or something on them. Don't give me 45. Okay, that's not bad. It's one time, but you get two little circly things. You get two extra. 235 because you add the 65 and the 35 and the 120. So I'm going to keep that ticket, play a couple of other things, and then I want to get to the car. There's a car cruise rally in Wallaceburg. So give me a first. I got a little money. Thank you very much. Here, one second. Hello, everybody. I'm on a car cruise, and there's like an old Buick in front of me and an old Chevelle behind me. It's a long line of old cars, and some people are like doing, the burning rubber. Literally, you can smell it. And people, not everybody, but some people just line up on their. Back there was a house, people standing on the front lawn just waving, and it's like through the country. Now, the news is that I've been really very badly caught up in gambling, and I was supposed to come on this cruise today, but on the way here I went to switch cars, and then rather than coming here to this town, I took a detour. I went to Sarnia. You can see, look, the cars are all the way up ahead. This is my new phone. So it's the first time I'm really keeping on it. You can see, so I missed the start of the cruise. I was in the parking lot of the Canadian Tire. But I got really badly caught up, and I got to the Sarnia Casino, and I won like $200-300 right away. And I'm like, okay, good, that's it. I can leave. I can go to the cruise. And couldn't leave. So I went down, and then won some back, and I left like a couple $100 down, which for me is these days is up. So just we're now in another town, and there's like cars, like a mile of cars up ahead and behind, and then regular cars, people just going places. They get in the line too, like they get into the thing because there's a regular car right behind me, and then there's like people out in the streets. There, and you wave, and then people wave back, and people like stand on their lawns. Hello, everybody! I'm at a festival. It's called Wemble. It's like a little town called Wallaceburg, and they have like a boat and auto show. My neighbors volunteer at it, because, So I just got a beer ticket, and I got this. So I had to cruise. I'm here, and there's like rock music, and my neighbor was DJ.
Thank you.
There was no country and western. So apparently the guy from Bare Naked Ladies, he's gonna be here later. This is a little heavy. Here's the casino again. Long story. It's a new machine. It's another piece of machines on this side. I got a window. That's enough. Okay, I'm here at a concert in that little town. It's Stephen Page from Bare Naked Ladies. I'm having an alcoholic drink here in the enclosure. It's a tiger's blood. My neighbors are volunteering at the tent. I think their group is one of the sponsors of this thing. So, it's nice, lots of people here. I've had quite a day. I'll talk about it later. Bye for now. She's a great performer. As my neighbor pointed out, it's a full moon. I'm stumbling about, trying to find somewhere to eat, and then I'll spend some time trying to sober up. I don't think they have Ubers out here. Well, I don't have Uber anyway. I'll have to get a taxi, but I'm about 20 minutes drive from home. So I think I'm just gonna like wander around for like 3-4 hours. Bye for now. Okay, I had quite a few, well, 3 or 4 vodka colas. And eaten a while. So, and it's about a 20-minute drive back home from here. I don't know if they have taxis. I didn't want to ask my neighbors for a ride. They were going back, but I didn't want to. So, I was just wandering for like an hour, and just wanted to sober up. And I had some chicken wings, chicken nuggets, and from a truck, and they were really bad. So then I'm walking around, trying to sober up. Takes longer on booze than on the other stuff. I'm used to doing this with the other stuff. And you sober up, within an hour, 2 hours, you're sober. Booze takes longer. So I'm walking. Kids are like teasing me and thinking I'm like a drug person. Well, kind of am. Not in the way they think. They think I'm a sweet person. So I find this pizza hut over there, and I go to the Tim Hortons, and it's closed. So I find there's a pizza hut across the road. It hasn't closed. So I go in. I go, "You have slices?" And she goes, "No." So I said, "I'll take a small pizza if you're still open. It's going to close in half an hour." And she goes, "No, you know what? You can have some breadsticks, but it's going to cost you $3. And I said, "I have the money. I have, that's several hundred on me from the casino." I didn't say that, but I'm like, "I have money." So she thought I was a street person. So I'm like, it was very nice of her. She goes, "You don't have to pay. Just take the breadsticks." It's happened to me before. when I've been slithering and partying, and mostly partying, not so much drinking, but when I've been partying, people have like, I took a bus once, and the guy said, "Oh, you don't have to pay, you don't have to pay." So I was a street person. So I'm like, I'm insisting, here's $4, and she says, no, you don't have to pay. So I just left it on the counter, and I said, put it in the tip jar. There was a tip jar. No, I see why she was giving them away for free. I mean, it was nice of her. She thought I was a street person who had no money. I really need to eat, and it's very, very sweet. Quite touched, actually. But I see also why she was giving them away. I've been sitting there for a while. They've hardened and are a bit stale. But it was a nice gesture on her part. So I'm just going to eat the breadsticks sitting here and spend some more time. I mean, that's what they say about booze, and that's the whole thing. They say the only cure for booze is time. Not even eating. I mean, it probably helps a little bit. To reassure you, I won't drive until I feel like sober. So it's been a couple of hours already. I'm going to spend some more time. I'm going to eat the breadsticks just sitting. Hello everybody, I just came back. It's late, but I sobered up. It took hours, but I sobered up and I drove back from the nearby town. Still a 20-minute drive, but it took me 3-4 hours just walking around, eating still breadsticks, but finally it was okay, and it was fine. It was a good drive back with the windows open. And I come back and all three kids inside. Welcoming committee. I had a welcoming committee in front. Jack, I did tape, and this is the outside kids. It's like midnight, but it's a little late for them. But I think they're just happy that I'm home and I'm safe. And so we've got Peanut there, got Jill there, and we got Bcee. We love you three so much. You know that. That's Bcee. My biggest wishes. Of course, inside kids, and I'll show them in a second. And these ones, and they're getting used to me. They're only took a year, like a full year. It's like a full year since they were. Yeah, I'm here in Sarnia at the casino. It's been a major gambling binge. I don't want to talk about it. Yesterday, I was all day at the casino in Chatham. Went down quite a lot. And then today, and then I went back. I got home at about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I was ready to come out again here to Sarnia because the casino's open till 2 o'clock here. But saw the kids, saw the films, fed them, and then there was a thunderstorm, and I can't leave the kids during the thunderstorm. So I checked on the girls later; they were fine. We had kids in the room with me. Got up in the morning, fed the kids, fed the girls, made a journal entry, and straight to Sarnia. So I'm very bad with the casino. I ended up going up about $125 in an hour. So I played for a while, and then before. Hello everybody, it's me, the Nutty Professor, and I'm here with my neighbors. I'm not going to show them just because, anonymity and all that stuff, but these are the parents of Jack, and Jack has made a lot of appearances in the Nutty Professor podcast. He's, of course, related to the Ferrells, and we've come out to a restaurant, one of the nicest restaurants in Chatham. It's called Central, and we're sort of celebrating my birthday and also the fact that I've been here for a full year. So this is, and I do my mini reviews, this is a chicken souvlaki. And it comes with a salad. It's their version of a Greek salad. You know what? I haven't tasted it yet. Let me taste it and I'll get back to you. But it's very, very good looking with huge portions. So I'll get back to you in 1 second. Hello, everybody. It's now a little later, and I did tape a bit in the restaurant where I was having dinner, and my best neighbors ever took me out for dinner to celebrate my birthday, and they gave me some amazing gifts, and I didn't show them as always, anonymity for other people, but I did mention them. I've mentioned them before, and they're my best neighbors ever. They're the parents of Jack, and they gave me such appropriate gifts, and they do know about my struggles with addiction. I don't hold back from them. This is the T-shirt. Cats, not drugs. And then there's a gift card to Chapters, because they know that I love to read, and I go to Chapters whenever I'm in Toronto. And then this tiny cat, little reminders from a tiny cat. You are positively enough. It's okay to have bad days. You're forever loved. Be kind to yourself. Don't believe in everything your cat brain thinks, which is hilarious. It's my little motivational cat. So my neighbor told me to put it on the casino cash in the drawer, which I keep there, so that so that when the pull is there to go to the casino, or the other stuff, that I'll think of these things, like not listening to my feral cat brain, not just cat brain, but the feral cat brain, and also a card, a cat card, of course, and that is a bookmark to go with the books I'm going to buy there, and it says, "You paused here." So Agita just checked out the gifts, and now one of the boys, I think that is Lcee. See the little white hairs? I think that's Lcee. So this is Finn. And got back, had a very, very nice time. I had a couple of drinks, but spaced out, and a lot of food, excellent food. The best restaurant in Chatham, without a doubt, So, and also a very friendly, very, very nice, helpful server. So it was just a spectacularly, good evening for me, and it's given me a lot of push. Today was day one clear of the casino. Casino had got really out of hand. But today was day one clear, and all of this, the gifts and the thoughts, really more, the thoughts and the thought that went into it, and the worrying about me, So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this one day at a time, but tomorrow, another day clear of casino, and the other stuff. The other stuff is going to be harder when we go to Toronto, which we probably will sometime next week. Inside kids and myself and the neighbors are going to look after the outside kids, So I'm going to do this one day at a time, and by the time I get there, it should be okay. I'm going to be busy with, going to restaurants and cinemas and book shopping and stuff like that. And I've got all of these things to help me, these are the pushes, So I'll take this little cat with me, and I'll kind of look at it, when the pull is strong to go feral catting. So that's what's, sweetheart, that's not for you. It's not a cat toy. It could be a cat toy. Sweetheart, it is a cat, but it's Daddy's inspirational cat. You can't be playing with it as a toy. Daddy will put it back in the casino cash drawer. So that's what's happening. It was so day one clear of casinos. Casino had got just as really, really out of control. So day one clear of casinos, and with sweetheart, don't. It's Daddy's cats. You are a cat, you are a cat, and you can, but don't tear up my T-shirt on the very first day. Daddy just got it from the neighbors, from Jack's parents. Okay, so that's what's happening. That's what I have to report. So we're just going to do it one day at a time. Tomorrow, journals, trying to do some writing. No casino. No other slithering, and trying to read again. I did some reading yesterday, and then Saturday again, more of the same, and Sunday I want to try to edit and post the next podcast, and then next week a trip to Toronto. It's been quite some time, but sweetie pie, darling, come. I use the shirt. You don't need to be playing on the shirt. Yes, it's Daddy's shirt. It's Daddy's shirt, and it is cat related, and it's a very important shirt to Daddy. Okay, so bye for now. This is a bit of a milestone for our feral family because all three of them, Peanut's eating, and the other two are not hiding under the deck. They're semi-hiding. They're in the shade by the. If I step 1 foot forward, they'll run to hide under the deck. But they are Bcee and Jill. Hey, sweethearts. Took a full year. They almost trust me. They're looking very warily. They're like, they're cautious. I'm not coming any closer. Don't worry. This makes me very, very happy. Bye for now. Everybody, I'm having a late lunch, early supper. It's like about 3:30, 4 o'clock at this place downtown Chatham, and I'm having the cream of chicken breast, creamy mushroom with sauce, chicken breast, corn, and baked potato. I haven't been taping much lately because I had been struggling a lot, and there was a sort of a mini binge, micro binge. Last weekend, but there was all the other stuff too. There was the positive stuff, the car cruise, and the festival thing that my neighbors were involved in with boats and cars, and Steve Page from Bare Naked Ladies, and that was the positive. But there was also the pools, and an opportunity came up. It was very limited. It was such a limited binge that it actually increased cravings, but I made it, and I made it. So from last weekend, I made it the first few days of the week. I made it with heavy gambling, heavy casinoing, like every day, and maximum amount that I can access and compulsively feed. So it got bad. The casino thing just got bad, and it got out of control. Control burn always gets out of control. We get to that point, and we reach that point. We've sort of almost been at that point over the past few weeks, but this was like at the maximum level of the out of controlness. So what got me through, what helped me, was that the dinner with my neighbors and the very thoughtful gifts. The fact that they went to all the trouble and put the thought into it, and the cats, not drugs T-shirt that I'm wearing, and the little cat bunny thing says, "Don't listen to your cat brain," and I'm like, well, my feral cat brain. I need to listen to my domestic cat brain. But it was such a sweet little thing, and it's like all these little, these motivational thingies. So I put it on the cash in the casino drawer, which was left over. There's still some left over. Which I hadn't happened to have because I was taking it from the machine. So anyway, that was that helped, and just the fact that they were so concerned and that they got such thoughtful gifts, and the little cats in the drawer, and the gift card to Chapters, which I'm going to use on the next trip to Toronto. So the next trip to Toronto is coming up next week, and my neighbor is going to look after the outside cats. But I'm, I was a little hesitant about the trip to Toronto because, polls were very strong, more options there. But I think it's going to be okay. I'm having a lunch with one of my cat rescue friends, and that will help. And then I need to go to the art gallery and stuff like that. And I'll try to arrange a lunch with another friend, so that will keep me busy, and and all the other things that I miss being here, the art gallery, the restaurants, bookstore. I can do all of that stuff, So that's next week. So in the meanwhile, things got better. Today is day 3 clear of casinos, and it's day 3 clear of casinos. Mainly due to the thoughtfulness of my neighbors and the gifts and the little motivational cat and the shirt. So thanks to all of this, I made day 3, and I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to have this and then go home and see if I can do some writing and stuff like that, and just go day by day. So I will tape a little bit more tomorrow, and a little bit more of a synopsis, and some footage of the kids. Main pushes, obviously. The biggest pushes of all. My kids and the ferals. The ferals are actually, the two of them, the ones that would see me and run and hide, they're actually staying on the deck when I go out to feed them. If I get within 10 feet on the deck, then they'll hide. But they're staying on the deck, Bcee and Jill. So I'm very, very, very pleased about that. And then, of course, the inside kids and the neighbors and all the other pushes. I'm going to make it. Day by day is tough, but I'll make it. Bye for now. Hello, everybody. I'm having brunch here at Cora's. I've been told that I should do mini reviews, which I do, but I'm having pancakes with plant-based sausages. And that's one of the reasons I come here. It's a little pricey compared to the other places. There's a lot of options for breakfast here in Chatham. But this is one of the very few places where you can get plant-based sausages. They're actually more expensive than regular sausages. But I'm having pancakes with lots of syrup. The only thing, my main criticism today, and I used to have a rating system when I did more regular reviews embedded in the Nutty Professor podcast, not separately. But when I did regular reviews in Toronto, I used to do Nutty Professor rating scale. So it was like 4 paws up or 4 paws down, you know. So this one, I'd say, let's say 2 paws up. It's not 4 paws up, it's 2 paws up. They lose a paw for not having Tabasco. They only have Kahlua. And they sometimes have Tabasco. Usually have Tabasco. But today they only have Kahlua, you know. And I said, you don't have Tabasco? And she said, we ran out. So they lost a paw rating for that. It's like losing a star. And then it is a bit pricey, you know. And they close. They were staying open later, but now they close at 3. So it's a positive. It's a pause up. It's not a pause down, and it's good. I do enjoy the plant sausages. They do taste like real sausages. And I put Kahlua on them. Not the same as Tabasco. Bye for now. Everybody is now a few hours later, and we've got Agita very comfortably settled there on the bed. And we've got one of the boys, and I'm pretty sure this one is Finn, there in the corner, under the bed. That's one of his favorite spots. And then we have Lcee. Very nicely settled here in the catio. I just opened the door to it a few minutes ago when he asked. And I've got all the windows open to the catio. And it's not hot today, so there's a very nice cool breeze in here, and I'm going to be in here taping rather than the living room so I can keep an eye on him. And back here, we had Peanut. She was behind that barbecue. That was one of her favorite spots. So I might paste in a little bit of, I'll see if I can cut and paste her sitting behind that. Okay, there's Jill on the deck, and Peanut must be nearby here somewhere. I'll go outside and see if we can see Peanut. Okay, Jill was just drinking some water, and she's gone there. And there's Peanut. Peanut has moved to the shade here she was in the shade of the barbecue, but she's now in the shade of the tree here on the deck. But this is actually one of, behind the barbecue. The old barbecue belonged to my neighbors, and they're throwing it out. It just needed a couple of parts. And I said, I'll see if I can get it fixed. But I haven't bothered. But Peanut likes to sleep behind it in that little area. So, and she was just there, but she's moved. So I'm keeping the barbecue as a shade. She feels comfortable behind it. So I'm keeping that for Peanut. Peanut. Okay, I'm going to go sit out in the catio and take some more. But I just wanted to show, on my way back from the pancake brunch, they picked up in the same plaza, there's a shawarma and more place that also has Indian food. They have only butter chicken and they have samosas. And they have either vegetable samosas or they have, these are chicken samosas. And it's like ground meat chicken. And they're a little bit more phyllo-ish, the pastry. The vegetarian ones, the aloo, the potato ones, they're the more traditional Indian samosa pastry. But these are the kind of more phyllo style, kind of Greek style, but they're excellent. Absolutely excellent. So as a part of my reviewing, so I get them for myself from time to time when I'm in that area, in the plaza, and I also get them for the neighbor because the neighbor likes them. And there is Lcee, very, very intently watching those birdies running around all over the place. Well, I haven't taped all that much over the last couple of weeks because just so struggling. And the maybe 2 months ago now, the very deep dive in Toronto, and as I've said before, the deeper one goes into shadow, the harder it is to return to the ordinary world, and you got to deal with that shadow. And I got very shadowy, and I went very, very deep. So after that, maybe a week later, there was sort of a rebound binge, and I think I've mentioned it. I don't give details as usual because others are involved. Might be legal issues and stuff like that. So I don't give. I write it, but as I keep saying, when I write that stuff, I'm writing for myself only for now, and if I ever publish, then it will have to be fictionalized and changed and locations changed and presented as fiction, But in here, I can't really give details, So I talk about them generally, and the pushes and the pulls and all of that stuff. So there was a rebound binge, and then after that, I've been struggling. Main pushes, as always, my kids, all 6 of them. Plus Jack. Jack's also a push, so 7 pushes, And then, casinos. Casinos got really out of hand. They got out of control. It was supposed to be a control burn, but always reaches the point where the control burn veers out of control. And we've been there, So the casino, but it helped me stay clear. And then I think I have mentioned, it was like in some of the footage that I'll probably include, there was a limited binge, a mini binge, a micro binge, actually not even mini, a micro binge, maybe a week ago on the weekend. And there were positive stuff going on the weekend. There was a car rally, car show, cruise in a neighboring town, and there was a boat thing and festival, and my neighbors were involved with that as volunteers. And I did take the Corvette on part of the cruise, but I also went to a casino in next city up from there. So yes, I went there. Then I went to the festival, and that very night, and I'm not going to go into detail, but there an opportunity came up from party slither, and the next morning, and I used junkie logic, which is sort of like cat logic. Cat logic being play with the box that the very expensive cat tree came in. After assembling it, instead of playing on the cat tree, they play in the cat box. That's in the box, the cardboard box, the toys came in, or the cat tree came in, or the whatever it is. So that's cat logic, and there's gambler's logic, and there's junkie logic. And my junkie logic was, if I limit it, so just before, the window of opportunity ended, there was like a half an hour. So I'm like, and I won't give more details, but there's half an hour, and I'm like going, maybe I can just limit the binging, slithering to half an hour, and very, very limited substances. And that's what happened, and it kind of worked. But then after that, it just kind of whet the appetite, and it was like, in a way, it increased the cravings, regular logic should have predicted that, but I was thinking in junkie logic. So, but then I ended up going to the casino afterwards, and I ended up winning quite a bit, So there was a kind of a turn in the casinos. So that day, the next day, I was in casinos. Then the casino thing got completely out of hand. St. Thomas and Sarnia and locally and just every day. And it got to the point again where I was gambling everything I could access. And that got really, 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 really out of control. But what saved me from that, and I've shown some footage, the very, very thoughtful gesture of my incredible neighbors, taking me for a birthday lunch, dinner actually, dinner on, I think it was on Thursday. So kind of, because, they've been really busy. I've been busy, casinos and stuff, and struggling. So, but we were able to go for a dinner, and they paid for the dinner, and they gave me some incredible gifts, some very thoughtful. More than the gifts, it's the thought that went into the gifts and how the gifts were, they were designed and they went to help me, and they have, So, I've got the shirt. I'm not wearing it right now. I'm wearing the cat dad shirt, but I wore it yesterday. The cat's not drunk shirt. I mean, how appropriate is that? And I keep talking about my cats being the pushes for me against the poles of the substances. So there was that, and there's a tiny little motivational cat with the little sayings, and it's like, don't listen to your cat brain. And in my case, it's the feral cat brain. It's not the domestic cat brain. It's the feral cat brain I have to not listen to. So there was that, and there was all the other, and there was a gift card to Chapters, and So that was a huge help. That's what actually helped me stop the casino, because I was very deep into it. So that happened on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today. 4 days. It's been 4 days casino clean. And I think that was mainly attributed to the gesture by my neighbors and the dinner, So, and the very friendly, we had a very friendly cat person server, So it was just a very, very nice dinner, and time and gifts, and they mean a lot to me, the gifts and the effort and the thought. It's, as my out-of-province friend says, I did win the lottery with this house, with not just the house, but the feral cats who I've come to really love, and the neighbors, on both sides, I'm closer to the people on one side, literally and metaphorically, and they're the ones who look after my ferals when I go out of town, go to the city, not out of province. And then the neighbors on the other side are very nice as well, I don't quite share so much with them. But I think I've mentioned the gambling. I haven't mentioned the other slithering to the neighbors on the other side. But they're also very, very nice people. They're also cat people. So that's where we stand now. It is now, so calculating the clear thing, if we're talking from the last big binge, major binge, it was, I think, 7 or 8 weeks. If we're talking from the rebound binge here in town, and that was it was kind of big in its own way, but it was only like, a couple of hours. It was not like overnight, and it was not like, and it was not quite as shadowy, but it was a proper binge, and that was like 6 weeks, about 6 weeks ago, or so. And then there was a very micro binge, and that was in between the 2 days of the Wambo Festival. So it was like before the performance by Steve Page, which I've really enjoyed, by the way. And then my wandering about their sobering up and stuff. That was the evening, and that was also after casinos. I'd gone to casinos twice that day. So that's as much as I want to say, and I'm going to edit together, and this is on my new phone, so hopefully the camera is a little better, my brand new phone. So I'm going to now edit and post the latest podcast. So the news is this, I've been struggling, but thanks to the kids, thanks to casinos. I mean, not the most positive thing, but it is very, very compulsive, and it keeps me away from the other thing. So casinos, but now I've been clear of casinos it's really hard to get out of the casino trap once I'm in it. But, the dinner and the guests from my friends, my new friends, my neighbors, helped with that a lot. So I've made for day 4 Casino CLR. So, and the plan is to go to Toronto next week because I got a lot of things to do there, but there's a lot of positive things there. I'm having lunch with my cat rescuer friend, possibly with another friend, and I want to go to the CNE, I want to go to the bookstore, I want to go to the art gallery. So those are the positive rechannelings. There was a very high chance that I was going to slither party in Toronto on the next trip, but I think I have a much better chance now, thanks to the gifts and thoughtfulness of my neighbors and all the other things, all the distractions that have come up for Toronto. So I'm going to now edit and post. So from the 7 of us, so from Lcee there, and Finn there, and Agita there, and look, that's Bcee. She was eating some dry food, drinking some water, and now is running as if I'm going to harm. Sweetheart, I love you so much. The inside kids, obviously, and you 3 outside kids, feed you twice a day. I come and talk to you, So I'm never ever going to. And she's watching from there. It's like, I'm not going to come any closer. Don't worry. It's like 25 feet. I would never harm you. I really love the 3 of you, and the 3 inside, obviously. So we've got Bcee there, just ready to hide in case I decide to drop them. Which I never do. So we've got Bcee there. Hey, Bcee, sweetie, love you. And Peanut there. Peanut, sweetie, love you too. And Jill has gone under the deck. She was on the deck, but she went under the deck. I showed her a few minutes ago. So that's what's. So I'm coming back out, and Bcee, don't run again to the bush. I'm actually coming out just to put some treats on the chairs because Bcee and Jill really like temptations, and I just put them here on the chairs. Look at that. How brave is that? In terms of trusting your father who has fed you twice a day for the last, your feral father for the last, year. It's a full year now in this house, But for Bcee, this is brave. This is only like 10 feet. 10 feet of social distance, And we'll put more treats here. So Bcee's there, and Peanut's there, and Jill is under the deck. But she'll come out for the treats. She loves those treats. And Agita is still very comfortably settled there. And while I was out filming the ferals, Finn. This is Finn. Finn has come out from under the bed. So there's Finn, and there's Lcee, sweetie. So, or maybe this is Finn. It's one of the two. So we got one of the boys there, and one of the boys there, and Agita in our bedroom, and the 3 ferals out back. So from the 7 of us in this cat family, varying degrees of feral and domestic and semi-feral. So the dad being semi-feral, trying to become more domestic. So from the 7 of us, and and for myself, of course, the nuttiest, craziest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of this earth. From the 7 of us, bye for now. See you next podcast.